Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, gamers. It's Araphel coming at you with another Elder Scrolls Online video. So what we got going on here is I am using the Am I Blocking Plus add-on to demonstrate how blocking in the Elder Scrolls Online is currently broken. And I don't mean broken in a good, like overpowered broken kind of way. I mean, it literally is not working as intended, and it hasn't been working as intended for the better part of a year, maybe even coming up on 2 years now. But I haven't had a good visual way to show this issue happening. But now this add-on is here, where when I block, it's going to visually show me blocking in the middle of my screen. Super useful just as a kind of visual confirmation that you're blocking. And if you get CC'd with this add-on while you're blocking, it will say reblock, which essentially means break free and block again. Okay. So what's going on here is when you activate sprint. Now this is only an issue on Gamepad. Let me get that out of the way immediately. This is only an issue on Gamepad. So what happens, I'm demonstrating it right now. We can see I was sprinting. I'll demonstrate it again. It says I was sprinting while it says blocking on my screen. So what's happening there is you sprint, and then when you start holding block, and then when you cast an ability while casting block, so you block cast a burst heal or whatever it may be, literally any skill, doesn't matter what skill it is, it will immediately take you out of block and make you start sprinting again. Because for some reason, the Elder Scrolls Online doesn't have an option to toggle sprint on and off. When you're on Gamepad, when you press the sprint button, your sprint is automatically toggled on. There is no need for you to hold it. Now, on PC, when you're playing on mouse and keyboard, it's different because you're required to hold shift down. And if you try to cast an ability or block while sprinting, it will say you cannot do this while sprinting. You have to physically let go, stop holding shift, for you to be able to do anything. Now here I have my buddy Ares. He's going to help me demonstrate how this works. So if you're ever in Cyrodiil getting pulled by Rush of Agony or Dark Convergence and you're like, I'm blocking, this is why. So here I'm blocking. He fears me, an unblockable stun, and see how it says re-block. The add-on and the game knows that I was feared while blocking, stunned, and it's telling me that I need to start blocking again. Okay. Now the issue lies where, see, I sprinted, now I'm blocking, and I casted an ability, and it immediately took me out of block, and I got rush pulled. Although it still said blocking on my screen. And we'll play that back in slow motion and check it out. So let's see. I sprinted, I started blocking, I thought I was good to cast my Netch again, but nope. Casting the Netch took me out of block and caused me to get rush pulled. All while it still says blocking on my screen. So my recommendation, guys, is test this out for yourself. So the sequence of events is sprint, hold block, cast an ability while blocking, and keep moving. Like, don't stop moving while you're doing all that, like you would in a PvP situation. And you'll see that when you hit that ability while you're blocking, it's going to immediately put you back into sprint. And I swear this did not used to be this way 2 years ago. There was a patch where blocking was like actually broken. Like if you got meteored or Templar javelined, basically anything that would displace your position, it would cause you to get like desynced, and you couldn't block until you either queued out of Cyrodiil, went into a delve or something, or like the cheesemonger's portal in the gate. Sorry guys, it's the morning. I can't speak clearly yet. But I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So around that time in the game is when they quote unquote fixed blocking when they broke it from an update. And then ever since then, it's been doing this. So it's essentially an issue in the game's code. So if any ZOS developers are watching this by any chance, so what you really need to look for is if sprinting, then holding block, then cancel sprint. So sprint needs to be canceled and toggled off as soon as we hit block. And we should have to reapply our sprint, just like we do when we bar swap. Right? If you play controller, you know you have to reapply sprint every time you cast an ability, every time you bar swap, every time you do any action. For some reason, blocking is the exception to this rule. So if any Zenimax developers are watching this, or if anyone can relay this message to a Zenimax developer, I would really, really like for this to get fixed, because in a competitive PvP setting where you're fighting with a lot of pull sets, it's very, very difficult to consistently block these pulls with this bug going on. This is a very clear bug that is not working as intended. It may not be as prevalent in PvE. I've put in multiple support tickets about this. I always get replies saying blocking is working as intended. No, the fuck it's not. Try it for yourself on Gamepad and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Araphel out. Catch you next time.